Hi, my name is David and I'm with the OCDSB Outdoor Education Centers. And today we're going to take a few minutes to become better acquainted with poison ivy. This is the sign I pass when I enter the trails. I think they meant to put a leaf like that on it. This is a plant that we all know by name, but how well do we really know it? I've been coming out to this nearby nature area for the last 2 months now. We're going on 3 months. And the places that I've been visiting up to this point have changed very dramatically in just the last couple of weeks. If I didn't know this was the place I'd been coming, I would say I didn't recognize it. Fortunately, I've been journaling and taking photographs each step along the way. Now, almost every square meter of the areas I've been exploring is covered in poison ivy. And had I not known that, it's likely that I'd have been covered in itchy blisters all over myself. I don't want that to be the case for you. So I have a couple of questions for you. Can you recognize poison ivy? And if so, how sure are you of that? And maybe the rest of this video will help you find out the answer to that one. When the shoots of poison ivy first started to show up in mid-May, it looked something like this. I've always heard leaflets 3, let it be. As it matured, it became obvious poison ivy. And you can see this leaf that I'm talking about right here actually has 3 parts. Those are 3 leaflets attached to the same stem. We can't always depend on that because there are other plants in there that also have leaves of 3. But I'll tell you, poison ivy never has thorns, and the leaves don't grow from the same place opposite sides of the stem. It might sound silly, but I tend to think of poison ivy like a little person there wanting a hug. And if you remember that structure with the head, neck, 2 arms, and the torso, that might help you recognize poison ivy. It helps me. Now I wanted to look at what's below the ground also, where poison ivy starts, because it wasn't there and then it was there all of a sudden. And look closely as I dig deeper and explore a bit of poison ivy. Poison ivy really is a beautiful plant. It's a survivor too. Unfortunately, causes a reaction. That's because of the chemical compound that is found in all of the plant's part, Urushiol. And Urushiol is very oily, so it sticks on the skin and any surface it comes in contact with. You might get this reaction, this kind of blistery, itchy spot on your arm. If you can recognize poison ivy, you see the vines, the leaves, the shoots, everything there, that can help you to avoid it. If you do come in contact with it, though, washing is your key. Wash, wash, wash very thoroughly. Anything that contacts poison ivy. Poison ivy is a flowering plant. It has flowers and fruit. And those off-white berries that it produces are a common food for wildlife here in this area. You can see from the tiniest little shoots just coming out of the ground, those kind of glossy red leaves seem perfectly harmless there, until the larger plants, as they grow up, they tend to get pretty big here, but nowhere near what they do south of here. Now if we look underneath the poison ivy, you'll see the flowers, buds there, and those will open up eventually, and we'll have the flowers, and then ultimately the fruits in the fall that are kind of a waxy white berry that's eaten by many animals here. The next time you see a sign like this, you should be much better equipped to enter that area with confidence. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope that gives you a better idea of what poison ivy is and what to do about it. When you're out there in your nearby nature spot, have an amazing time exploring and be safe.